PSA has released a new online submission center with a new design, image-assisted search, faster checkout, and more. And today, we're going to put it to the test. Hello, sports card investors, and welcome to a special episode, one that I am excited about because I am a big fan of technology advancements in the hobby. I love seeing new technology come out and making it easier to buy cards, sell cards, track your collection, grade your cards. There's many different ways that technology has made the hobby better over the last few years. And one company that is making big strides on the technology front is PSA. PSA, of course, as you know, is the leading grading company out there. And when they came to me recently and said, Jeff, we have a brand new online submission center and we want to sponsor a video so that you can review it on your show, I took them up on the opportunity quickly. Now, I had gotten a preview of this new online submission center at the National this past year, and I've got to admit I was excited because I submit a lot of cards for grading. And truthfully, the process of submitting cards to grading in the past at times could be a little clunky. I like the idea of grading submissions being as quick and as easy and as seamless as possible. And PSA claims that their new online submission dashboard does those things. It makes it faster and easier to get your cards in and get your cards submitted for grading. We're about to put it to the test. And the cards that I'm gonna use today, you probably recognize some of these. These are cards from box breaks that we did on the channel over the course of the last several months. You probably saw me open up the 1989 Score football box and pull some beautiful Troy Aikmans and Deion Sanders. Or how about 1984 Topps, where I got a Don Mattingly rookie, Darryl Strawberry rookie. And then 1987 Fleer basketball, where I pulled some nice Jordans, as well as a lot of other cards. I'm gonna submit these right now for grading, and we're gonna see how the new online submission center works, and if it's really good, or if it's still needs some improvement. We're gonna put it to the test. I also brought, by the way, a couple of classic Chipper Jones cards. These cards I'm not even super familiar with. I found these in my collection from years ago. And so we're gonna see today if the online submission center can even recognize these cards or not. So let's go ahead and get started. So I've gone here to PSAcard.com on my screen. First thing that I wanted to note right away, PSA has been doing some really aggressive specials this year. Of course, these change every single month, but it's pretty nice to see things like Major League Baseball cards for $15.99 per card for grading, or TCG for $13.99 per card for grading. Obviously, there's some terms that apply on these, but it's nice that PSA is doing these types of specials. They seem to be wanting to be very, very price competitive and offer good pricing for collectors who want to submit their cards. But if you're going to submit your cards to PSA, the place that you start is this submit button in the upper right-hand corner when you go to PSAcard.com. And here is where you can build your card submission. So I'm going to go ahead and click start to get started. Now, I'm already logged in here. I'm already a member of PSA's Collectors Club. You don't have to be a member of PSA Collectors Club in order to do your submissions, but if you join for $99 a year, you get access to lower cost, bulk value level submissions. So I join every year. I think it's a good value, especially if you're gonna be submitting a lot of cards for grading over the course of the year. I'm gonna go ahead and start a new submission, and we're gonna put this process to the test. So first of all, you have to choose what type of item you're submitting. Obviously, I'm gonna be submitting trading cards here today based on what I have on my desk. And then I have to choose, do I need them graded? Do I need them reviewed, which would be if I previously had a card graded and I think it's worthy of a higher grade. Do I need a crossover? This is if I had a card from another grading company and I wanted PSA to look at it while it was still in that other grading company's holder to see if they would move it to an equivalent PSA grade. Or a reholder, which is if I have an older PSA slab and I want it simply reslabbed into a newer PSA slab. But of course, today I'm doing grading. Now I don't have any autographs, so I'm not gonna check the autograph dual service box. I'm just gonna select a standard grading submission here. And here it's asking me what service level I want. Now I don't have trading card game cards today, so I can't take advantage of those offers. I also don't have enough baseball cards to take advantage of the baseball offer today. The value bulk offers are in two categories, 1979 and older or 1980 to present. Now, thankfully, all of my cards are indeed 1980 to present, and I've got a good number of them to submit. So I'm gonna go ahead and take advantage of this level. It's currently $18.99 as of the filming of this video, with a $45-day business day estimated turnaround, $500 max declared value per item. Now, of course, these things can change periodically. They change the pricing levels and the turnaround times, but this is the level I'm going with this submission today. So I'm gonna go ahead and select and continue here. So this is now where we're really gonna see how much better or not this new online submission center is, because this is where the process has really changed quite a bit. This is where you start to type in the name of the first card. So let's start with this 1984 Topps Don Mattingly card here. So I'm gonna type in 1984 Topps Mattingly. Let it go for a second. It's thinking about it. And you see, this is really nice. Not only did it find the card, first that I was typing in, but it also now shows an image of the card. That's one of the big differences. One of the big things that PSA has been promoting with their online submission center is the images. And that makes a big difference because, for a card like 1984 Topps, it's a little more straightforward, but with ultra modern cards from the last couple of years where there's a whole bunch of different parallels and variations, or even trading card games where it's kind of sometimes difficult to know, is it a secret rare or a rainbow or what is it? Having the images as a reference guide helps you ensure that you are in fact selecting the right card. So this is indeed the right card. So I'm gonna go ahead and select the 1984 Topps Don Mattingly card. Quantity of 1, let me see. Yep, I've only got 1 of that card. I was just double checking. And declared value. So this is the total, this is the estimated value for your card based on what grade you think it may get. Now there's different ways to look this up. PSA has their own tools to look this up. Of course, here at Sports Card Investor, we also have our own, tools and products as well. I wish this would 10. It's probably not gonna 10. I'm just gonna put a guesstimate in of this item of $200 and go ahead and hit save. Now, by the way, your max declared value is $500. So you could go all the way up to $500. If you're gonna go over $500 on this item, then it's not gonna qualify for this service level. But do keep in mind that whatever you put into the declared value box, that's how much it's insured for if something goes wrong. So make sure you're putting accurate prices in there and make sure you're picking the right service level for your cards. Some people sometimes try to skimp a little bit on the declared value just so they can fit into a lower service level. But you take a risk if you do that from an insurance standpoint. I would not suggest doing that. And PSA is probably going to correct that anyway once the card is graded. Let me go ahead and select that. Let me go ahead and save that 1984 Topps Don Mattingly card. So now it's in my list there. Okay, so I'm going to go on to this Darryl Strawberry card. 1984 Topps Darryl. I'm just going to type in Darryl and see if it comes up. And it does. So you don't even have to type in the full name of the player. It looks like also, by the way, it has the card number stored. So perhaps a quicker way to have done it would have actually been to look at the card number on the back, card number 182. You can see that right there. And maybe I could have just typed in 1984 182. And it probably, in fact, let's try that. Let's just see if that works here. I'm just going to type in 1984 182. So I've got the year and the card number. And so what it's doing, there it goes. It found the Darryl Strawberry. Now, of course, in 1984 Fleer, there was a card 182 as well. That's a different player in 1984 Donruss, etc. But the first one that came up was, in fact, my 1984 Topps Darryl Strawberry card. Now, I have 2 of these, so I can set the quantity to 2. That's nice as well, because I think before you had to enter the same card multiple times. Now I can just set the quantity to 2. I can declare the value of these ones at $100 a piece and hit save. And there it is in my summary. Okay, so far, this is definitely a much better process than what PSA had previously. But let's change it up. Let's do a few different cards here just to see if it's quite as easy as advertised. Now, the Michael Jordan 87 Fleer, everybody's aware of that card. So let's go to something. Let's pull out these stickers. Let's try these stickers, and then let's try like a Larry Smith card, right? That's not one of your more common cards that people would necessarily be grading very often. So let's try to trick it a little bit. This is 1987 Fleer, but I'm not even going to put in the year. I'm going to put in 1987 Larry Smith and just see what happens here. Or actually, I said I wasn't going to put in the year. What am I talking about? I'm just going to put in, let me just put in Larry Smith Fleer, and let's see what choices come up when I put in Larry Smith Fleer. Okay, so I put in Larry Smith Fleer, and sure enough, the very first card that comes up is that 1987 Fleer 101 Larry Smith card. And you can see right there, if I mouse over this, that's the card. There it is. I mean, that's the exact card that I'm looking at. So super simple. Declared value on that, I'm just gonna put $50. All right, so I was not able to trick it there. Let's look at these Jordan stickers. So if I put in 1987 Jordan, I'm probably gonna get, you know, the normal cards up before I get any of the stickers. But look, there's a sticker right there. The 1987 Fleer sticker 2 Michael Jordan. I can look at that image and you can see that image is the exact one that I have there. I've got 3 of these. So let me go ahead and pick that. Let me pick my quantity of 3 and let me set my declared value of these at $200 each. And let me go ahead and save those. So far this process is exactly as PSA touted it to be. A quicker, better experience. It's easy for me to get these cards in. This is definitely a big time improvement over what their process was previously. All right, let me turn to a couple of more unusual cards to see if PSA is able to help me identify these, because truthfully, these are not cards that I am super familiar with. These are cards from my collection a long time ago, and I don't even remember what the sets were on these cards, what the years were on these cards, etc. So I'm gonna turn it over and I can see that this is a Fleer Skybox card, Chipper Jones. The year down there, the year is in such a small font that I'm even having trouble reading it. Apparently I might need some glasses here to help me out. But that's good, right? That's good for the purpose of just putting this in here and seeing what happens. So Chipper Jones. Now it says emotion on the card. I wonder if I can type in emotion and if it will actually find it based upon that keyword. Oh my goodness, it did. Look at that. It did. So this is you know, probably the name. I don't know if this was an insert set. This might have been an insert set from well, what year did it come up as? 1995. So this is a 1995. Well, maybe emotion was actually, I guess, the name of this set. This is a card I'm not familiar with. So I guess this was the actual name of the set from 1995, and there it is. So I've got one of these. I have no idea what the value is. Just gonna put $50 in there because I know that that's not a super valuable card. I might look up the value and pay a little more attention to that before, you know, before I submit it to make sure I get those accurate. That's always a good idea. I don't know what this one is either. So this is another Chipper Jones card. This is an Aurora, it looks like. Oh, from Pacific. So this is a Pacific card, a brand that existed some time ago. And this is, let's see, this is card number 10. So I'm just gonna type in Chipper Aurora, see if anything comes up here. Okay, and a 2000 version of this card came up. That's card number 12. So I don't think that's gonna be it. Now that one did not have a photo associated with it. This is probably an unusual card. I'm gonna put in number 10 because that seems to be the card number. Let's see, and this card, it does say right down here, 1998 Pacific Trading Card. So I'm gonna put in 1998. And there it is. I assume that's gonna be it. I assume this is the Pacific Aurora Pennant Fever card number 10, Chipper Jones. Is that, I don't know for sure if that's the case, but I am gonna go with it. And one thing that I know PSA says is if you can't find your card, it's okay. Just type in the name of it anyway. You see this link right here, you can add it manually. So if you don't see the card, you can still add it manually, and when the cards arrive at PSA, they'll check it for you and they'll see if it matches something in their database, or maybe it's a brand new card that's not in their database, in which case they'll add it in for you. So don't be afraid. You can still submit your cards, even if that has to happen. But I'm gonna go ahead and click that card there, and I'm gonna set the declared value on that one of $20. Can't imagine that card is worth, quantity of 1, declared value of $20. There we go. Can't imagine that card is worth too much. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and enter in the rest of these cards, but we're gonna zoom forward in the video a little bit to not take up more of your time. So let me enter these, and then we're gonna take a look at the new streamlined checkout process. And we're back. I've got all of my cards ready to go now. The ones that were in magnetic card holders, I've moved into these semi-rigid card sleeves. You can get those types of card sleeves. They look like this. These are the preferred sleeves for grading submissions, that style of sleeve. What I did is I put them inside penny sleeves and then put them inside the semi-rigids, and they are now in this pile ready to go. So PSA now gives me the option, once these cards are graded, do I want them shipped back to me or do I want them sent to my PSA vault, which I have, by the way, a PSA vault. I've got a number of items there, but I am gonna have these shipped back to me because they're gonna be for my PC. So of course I can add in my return address here. I need to add in my telephone number, select a shipping method. And this down here, this is one of the new things with the submission process. They now save your credit card information. That's actually super nice because one of the most annoying things about the previous submission process was that you had to enter your credit card every single time. They save that for you now. That is a nice time add. It's also nice that this is all on one screen, super simple. I can fill out this information, review my order, and then submit it, and I'm done. At that point, I just need to put these into a package them up nicely, and ship them off to PSA. And this is just the start of what PSA is doing to make the online submission process better. In fact, as this year goes on, you're gonna see a lot more things roll out. They're gonna give you the option of buying prepaid postage direct from PSA when you submit. That's gonna be super helpful, so you don't have to, go get postage or print out FedEx labels on your own. PSA will take care of that for you. That will definitely streamline things. They're also gonna make this new process ready for mobile as well. So look for updates to their mobile submission process soon, and those updates will make it as easy to submit your cards via mobile as it was just now on the desktop computer. In fact, it might even become more easy because another thing, easier? It might even become easier because another thing that PSA is working on this year is image recognition. And they want to get it to the point where you can take your mobile phone and when you're ready to do a grading submission, you can snap images of cards and their app will help you recognize what those cards are, which will either reduce or even eliminate in some cases the need for you to type in card names and look up cards in the first place. I am thrilled to see the progress that PSA is making with their technology. I think their improvements to their new online submission center are really, really good. It's a good thing for PSA. It's a good thing for those of us submitting cards. It's a good thing for the hobby overall. What improvements would you like to see PSA make to their process from here? Have you tried the new online submission center yet? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. We'll bring you our next one real soon. Thanks for watching. Take care.